This was the Art Wygant film that was shot in the early 1970s. It was done on 8mm. He's doing color changes. Watch the visual nature of the color changes that he does. Eddie loved variation, one after the other. There's a black card, and he changes it to the red card. Now watch this. He loved this. It was a one-handed change. Watch, he'll do it again for you. Look at the visual nature of this. When there was just film, he was great on film because he couldn't go back and rerun it. He always was curious to see what it looked like. Now this is the Curry turnover change. Look at that. Smooth as silk. And the D'Amico second deal. Now this is the eidetic change. Look at how visual. Now Eddie could do things that required different angles. Watch how he handles the angles on this. It just looks like one card and it merely changes in his hand. When we watched this film in the 70s, it was very intriguing because we didn't know exactly how he did it, especially one of the changes that's coming up. You'll see it. It's a one-handed change. We had no idea. We ran. Look at this. Look how that just merely changed in the hand. Now watch this. This is the one. Watch how he just swings his arm and the card changes. We watched that over and over and over again. It wasn't until much later that I really found out how that was done. Now here's a simple change, but look how good it looks in his hands. And he really had chops. Now this is the D'Amico top change. Look how good that looks. Here he'll do it again. People who saw that just couldn't understand how the card changed. Now look at this. He's got 3 aces and then he's got 3 kings and an ace. So he deals 1, 2, 3, and he shows the ace. Now the ace changes to the king, and now he's got all 4 aces. That's a pretty nice change. He just puts it down and it changes. Now this one is very interesting. Look at the Queen of Spades. It's in the center of the deck. And then he places the spot card on the table. Now watch. The Queen of Spades changes. The spot card changes to the Queen of Spades, and the spot card is now in the center. Now this is a change of 4 cards. He changed it to 4 aces. I'd hate to play poker with him. He's going to do it again. Watch. He's got the 4 cards. They're 4 indifferent cards. And he merely squares them up. And now the 4 cards have changed to the 4 aces. Okay, now this is a pick a card. So Rose Wygant picked the card out. It's the King of Diamonds. He places it back into the center of the deck. He gives the deck a shuffle. Now, he tells her to put the ace of spades any place into the deck. So that marks off a place in the deck. Now he runs through and takes the ace of spades and the card next to it, and it's her selected card. That's the bomb door. 4 aces. And now the 4 kings. But look at that. That's the triple buckle, and Eddie claimed to invent the triple buckle. This is Dr. Daly's trick. 2 aces. He shows the 2 black aces, places them down, and all of a sudden he's got the 4 kings. He calls that the 4 king trick.
Deck, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to deal that down there. Okay? That's good. That's a 10, and this is a 5. Happening is we have a 3 of spades here and an 8 of hearts here, right?
Okay.
And we come over here, and then the 8 of hearts over here. What's over here?
That's the 8 of hearts.
Over here?
Right.
No, that's the 3 of spades, and over here is the 8 of hearts.
That's
Look at the chops. Look at that. Now here he's got the 4 aces and he puts them in the center of the deck. He shows that they're not on the top and they're not on the bottom. Now watch the rhythm of the deal. And the 4 aces are dealt from the center. Now he's going to do several center deals here. The center deal was the hardest deal to do. So watch carefully. Here's a center deal. You saw it go directly in, and he's going to deal around and look at the center deal. Because the center deal was the fabled deal and the one that Vernon looked to find Kennedy to see how it could possibly be done, Eddie had his own technique and could do it in rhythm over and over and over again. Now watch this one. This is center deal, but it's alternates. And that's very hard to do. Now he's going to do it again, but he's going to do like a strike. So each one he's just striking out of there. Now this is one-handed center. He had great control with it.
Oh yes, the one-hand bottom deal. That is a good. You can get a good illusion with that. Let's assume again that the ace of spades is a card. I used to do this at the treasure chest a lot, and I used to get the control the card to the bottom. Then I would tell a spectator, or usually it was a smart punk really who didn't want to buy a Swingali deck. But I told him, cut the cards, and he cut the cards. And I said, right where you cut will deal. It sort of looks fair when you say, right where you cut will deal. And just to show you that I'm not going to cheat too much, I'm going to leave a few more cards down there, because sometimes you think I'm cheating a little bit. But they used to give me a fairly sizable pack left. Some would cut off one, some would cut off 2 or 3 cards. It didn't make any difference. In either case, you say, right where you cut, I'm going to deal. So you pick these cards up and you say, you ask them to give you a number. So,
All right, 6.
all right, so you deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I first met Eddie in the 60s, and he was actually at the treasure chest, and he was performing magic behind there. The first thing I saw him do was an estimation trick. So he did the most complex magic then.
Demonstrations, you always have to prove that the card.
That's a D'Amico second deal.
I'll try it again.
He and Carmen did it so interesting.
I'm releasing
It just
2
seemed to
cards.
come from nowhere.
That is immaterial because Carmen used to do it.
It was the top card of a watch. Boom, there it comes.
It didn't make any difference really. She's in the second set as well. You just deal.
Now
like
look at this second deal.
That's a normal dealing second deal. Like
It's just unbelievable.
spades. This is
Watch the rhythm.
an
You would
excellent
never know
second
he
deal
was doing a
because
second deal there.
the action is so normal looking that you can expose it. Doesn't make any difference because you can take him in all the time.
So
with
when he
this
wanted
because
to
the
take
action
you in,
is
all he
always
had to do
natural.
was do one of these natural things, and you would never know he was doing the
In other words,
move.
a Barnhart technique.
Yes.
Yeah. So you would do this and this.
Now, this is the Barnhart,
and this. Now, the ace of spades
bottom
is the bottom
deal.
card. So you do this and this and
Watch
this.
the
Now
natural
you come
nature.
over and take the bottom one. Right. So you have 4 red cards and 4 black cards, and all together you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But now they are mixed up. So even though you start with 4 red and 4 black, you can see that they are now alternated. It makes a good opening phase for oil and water because I remember years ago I did this for Charlie Miller. He had no idea what I did because I asked him for 4 red cards, which then I asked him for 4 black cards, and I said all together we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards. And I said, but why did you have to give it to me all mixed up? He got a big kick out of that. It's the master grip, but just to give you the idea, is do this, and this, and this, and then this, the ace. This, then the ace. This, the ace. This, and the ace.
Now what she's mixing for an oil and water sequence that's pretty interesting. So now he picks up the cards and he says, look, they're mixed. It's a black and a red and a black and a red and a black and a red and a black and a red. And now he snaps, and they're separated, reds and blacks. What an interesting use of the Benzeus cop. Here he shows he's got the 4 aces. This is almost like trick cards. Watch the way he handles the visor. Watch how smooth it looks. He puts 3 cards on each ace. 3 more here. 3 here. And 3 here. Now he shows the ace. That's the leader packet. Takes the other 3, puts them together, makes the magic. Aces are gone. And now in the leader packet, all 4 aces. Now this is Merlin's famous ace trick. Takes the ace of spades and deals the other aces onto the table. Now he takes each one of the X cards and he deals it down in sequence onto the aces. Once again, he coalesces 3 of the packets. Aces are gone, and there are the 4 aces. Now this is his famous unbelievable aces. Each one of the aces is laid out on the table. Takes 3 cards, shows them, and lays them onto each one of the aces. Once again, he establishes a leader packet. He's got the ace with 3 cards that are not aces. Now he's going to show you. He's got 1, 2, 3 and an ace, 1, 2, 3 and an ace, 1, 2, 3 and the last ace. Now over in the leader packet, he has the indifferent cards and just the ace of spades. Makes the magic. Now he's got the 4 aces and just the other 12 cards. Now remember, he was doing this in 1970. Now I want you to watch this. He's shuffling, and I want you to watch the top of the deck. Try and follow where the aces are coming from. So he's using advanced technique, and then he's using the Benzeus sail move to produce the aces. Okay, there are 2 black aces and 2 red aces. Now the blacks are there and the reds are there. Dr. Daly's trick. Now this comes out of Future Classic. This is what everybody had been doing for years. He's showing all 5s. And then it lands up, it's a 4 ace trick. Now the deck was face down, and he's going to do a triumph. Watch the way he handles this. It was all face down. Now he shuffles the face up cards into the face down cards. Turns them over. Once again, shuffles them together, face up and face down, and now they're all one way. Now this is the famous open traveler's trick. This is the one that Mike Skinner did and the one that Jennings did. So watch the invisible palm, and now he's got 2 cards and just 2 aces left. I shows you the two. Puts them down. Two aces left. Gone. Now just one ace. And over there are three. Last one. Remember, just three aces over here. And now the last one vanishes into thin air. All four aces. Now this is really interesting. Watch. He'll have a card selected from a face-down deck. It was a deuce. It's placed back in, and he says, "Is that your card?" He says, "No, no, it couldn't be because the deuce is over face up in the face-down deck." Okay, ready? Now these tricks were done. Tom Neeson produced decks of cards, and Eddie and I gave him tricks to do with these decks of cards. This is a particularly neat trick. Watch this. All right.
Have you got one?
Yeah.
Now I don't want to know what card you thought of, so I just want you to just touch it.
Okay.
And don't let me see it. I'll go slowly so you know which one to go slowly.
Got it.
Which one? This one?
No.
This one?
Yeah.
This one?
Yeah.
Do you want to change your mind?
No.
No.
Okay.
You don't want to change your mind?
Mm-mm.
I'll put that down here. I don't want to know what the card is.
Okay.
You could have thought of any one of these cards.
Right.
Right? Now, over here, I have a blue deck, which I'll shuffle. Now, do you believe that the mental process controls the physical actions? See,